Well, let's return to the national conversation about alleged COVID-19 corruption. I'm talking, of course, about the claims of corruption relating to the procurement of PPEs. COSATU issuing a strong statement in the last couple of days, suggesting in public that the corruption claims around the procurement of PPEs are the result of President Cyril Ramaposa's failure to act against corruption. They say that it's his responsibility to take action. COSATU, you remember, backed Ramaphosa at Nasrec in the ANC conference. Matthew Parks is COSATU's parliamentary coordinator. Matthew, good afternoon to you. As I understand it, you're making a strong statement against the President. Why is this his fault?
Yes, look, we must make a strong statement. The extent of corruption in our society and in government is so bad, we have to tackle it head on. And look, we respect the President, we appreciate his efforts, we have supported his election when others didn't support it. We think on many fronts he's done a good job. But the fact is, corruption is our national cancer. We have not managed to make significant inroads against it. The scandals around the PPEs, which we think are only the tip of the iceberg, are symptomatic of a very sick state, a sick society, a sick political elite. And government has to act more decisively. And look, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, the buck stops with the President. The President, yes, we understand, can't physically go and arrest people and throw them into jail, but he appoints the leadership of the National Prosecuting Authority, of the South African Police Service, and he has to hold them accountable. Our members, workers, and the public at large are sick and tired of this constant scandal of looting, and it has a direct impact upon workers. So when people provide poor quality masks, that results in the death of nurses and doctors who are now being hit by COVID-19 infections at the hospitals when they should have been protected with decent quality masks. It means clothing workers lose their jobs when corrupt politicians and their families and friends rush to import cheap masks from China or from wherever else instead of buying it locally, which could have helped save the economy. It means public servants are not going to get the inflation increase because the state is bleeding 10% of its budget every year to a mass epidemic of looting and wasteful expenditure. So the President has to act decisively. We support the President, and like any soccer team that you support, the fans are the most critical ones. Our workers expect us to raise our frustrations and to hold the President's feet to the fire, but he has to move decisively. And I think, Stephen, you would also appreciate that workers and the public patience is not unlimited. We support the President has done well on many fronts, but our patience is not unlimited. And there is a deep, deep cancer of corruption within the ANC, within cabinet, within government, and we need to start seeing politicians being thrown in prison. To date, we've seen one provincial MEC, John Block, wind up in prison. That's fantastic. Can we see one politician going to prison every week? That will start giving people a sense of hope that something is being done to eradicate this corruption. But there's no way, Stephen, that you can expect to get international investors to come and invest in South Africa if we are looting it. We're asking people to donate their wages to the Solidarity Fund, and people ask why. You're allowing politicians to loot it. So there's a direct correlation. Government really has to crack the whip and start throwing these people into prison. It's simply inexcusable to have this frenzy of family and friends of the elite looting left, right, and center, and then nothing is done about it, Stephen.
Okay, I appreciate what you say. I appreciate the constituency that you represent, and I imagine particularly your members at Nahawu were absolutely furious. But what can the President actually do? I mean, he can't tell the National Prosecuting Authority, he can't tell their head to arrest someone or not to arrest someone. That's been tried before.
Yeah, no, sure. Look, I think there's several things that they can do. One is that they need to tighten the regulations, for example, on PPEs. They need to centralize procurement at National Treasury and to remove that competency from provincial and local government. But also they need to start holding politicians and the management of these institutions to account. So if an MEC under his department it has failed, they must fire the MEC, they must fire the senior management. Those are the kind of political interventions they can start doing. But also, Stephen, it's not just a question of COSATU being angry and chanting slogans. You simply have to look at the Auditor General's report, which is a damning picture every year about the state of mismanagement in government and the looting. Nothing has been done. No mayors have been removed, no municipal managers have been removed. The Auditing Act empowers the state now to go and freeze the assets of managers who have looted in the state. They can do that. But to be honest, Stephen, yes, the President can't go and tell the NPA head to arrest this individual or that individual. But he can say, look, if you don't start tackling corruption, if you don't start seeing those implicated in this scandals being tried and convicted, I will remove you. He can do the same thing to the police commissioner. Hold them accountable because they're not there doing us a favor. They are there to serve the public. And right now they're failing the public. So there has to be some action. Otherwise, the ANC is going to be in serious trouble in the local elections next year. The public's patience is not infinite.